Rise and shine, everyone. It is Tuesday, May the 7th, 7:30 in the morning, and we appreciate you for tuning in. Today is a very special day. We have some special four-legged friends in the studio this morning. So if you hear those noises, that's what it is. They're so happy to be joining us, and we're going to meet them shortly. So today we are going to be talking about animal rescue and also the animal crisis that we have in our surrounding communities. Because right now we really need people to be spaying and neutering and adopting because we have more animals than we have people. You know, and it's starting to become quite the situation, and I think it has been quite the situation for a long time. So we appreciate people like Animal Rescues, and that's who we have in the house today. We have Mailman's Mutts. So we have Chris Molds, who is the president there at Mailman's Mutts, and then the treasurer, Katrina Cat Hubbard, who is with Mailman's Mutts. And again, we have some of our four-legged friends in the house. So welcome, Chris.
Hey, thank you.
How's it going?
Going okay.
Good. I'm glad to have you in.
Thank you.
I know I've gotten to know you throughout the last few years because, as you know, I love animals, and I wish I could do the things that it takes to be a part of the animal rescue. I try to do my part, and I think that's what it takes, is just everybody doing the most that they can, even if it's just a little bit.
Yeah. If everybody would just do something.
Just do something.
Yeah, if you see something, do something.
That's right. So tell us about your journey. How did you start Mailman's Mutts?
So I was a mailman, obviously, for nearly 30 years. And in early 2017, was delivering mail, saw a little dog running across a five-way intersection, saw him get nicked by a car, not hit bad, stopped and got him, drove around with him for about an hour till animal control could get him. Of course, they have the 7-day stray hold, and I couldn't deliver with him all day, so Animal Control took him to the holding facility in Albertville, and I went by to visit him every day. Told him that if he wasn't claimed within 7 days, that I would take him home and foster him.
Oh, excuse me.
So multiple shares, knocking on doors. This was the perfect dog. Very, very polite, very healthy, neutered, heartworm negative, just a great dog. So fostered him for several months, and then just finally found him the perfect home. And so by default, I was into rescue. You find one home and everybody thinks you can help them all.
Sure.
So when I got out of the post office, decided to start a 501c3, and Mailman's Mutts seemed appropriate.
It does. Yeah. I love it. And you get to see a lot of that when you were delivering mail, I'm sure.
Fed lots of
animals.
Dogs, helped lots of dogs. I mean, I bought fencing for dogs out there. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
If there's anything I miss about that job, it's helping the animals on the mail route.
But you're still getting to do that in a different sense of the way, full time.
Yeah.
So you are now full time in animal rescue.
Full time.
Wow. And it takes that. It takes a lot of full time. I know we first met because of animal rescue, and I think
Society.
Yeah, there was a Humane Society, and there was I think there was a transport happening that day, and so we were getting, and that's important too. Tell us about transport and how that helps, and just tell us all about the transport.
Okay, so we do work with other out-of-state rescues, mainly the out-of-state rescues like Minnesota, New York, Wisconsin. They just have better laws that protect the animals there. You don't have backyard breeders on every corner, and so there's just a better network for the animals there. So a lot of these we work to get into other states and get them out of here.
So you just said a term, backyard breeder. What does that mean?
Just somebody just letting their dog just have multiple litters of puppies, and then them begging for help with the puppies, and then they'll do it again and again and again.
They're trying to sell the puppies, or just don't?
A little bit of both. Sometimes they try to sell them, and sometimes they just don't want to get their animals fixed or say they can't afford it. And that's part of what we do. Part of our mission statement is assist with spays and neuters, families that can't afford it.
Yeah, and that's very much needed. I hear that a lot as well. I can't afford to go get it done, but the cost associated with having puppies is so much greater than getting a spay or neuter happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if people would just really look in, just look on Facebook and just see the multiple shares and dogs needing help, like, Grayson and Scout and so many others. And if somebody was to spay and neuter, we wouldn't have these guys.
Right. And we love them, but you know, their life has been hard. They had to start off in a hard way.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about their stories and get to meet these cute little guys. Because so often that happens. You know, I have a little rescue that I wouldn't take anything for, but I would if it meant that she didn't have to have 5 years of a terrible situation. Right. She was in a breeding situation where she was just bred and left for dead. And, you know, I love her, but I wouldn't want her to have to endure that.
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
it's so sad. Yeah. It's great now that she got to have a good situation, but so many don't.
That's right. So many miss out on that opportunity.
Let's talk about that, because we have some statistics here that are really troubling as far as how many animals are euthanized. And as we're getting to those statistics, let's talk about euthanasia. So that is something, you know, there is humane ways, and there are certain situations where a dog or a cat, any type of animal, is beyond help. Right. You know, and in that situation, being euthanized is one of those, like, that's a humane way to put them out of their suffering. Right. But we have animals that are perfectly healthy, perfectly homeable, that are being euthanized daily just because there isn't anywhere to put them.
Right. Well, you've got people wanting to surrender their pets, and if they surrender to the humane societies, there is no hope. They're the first ones to be put down. Yeah. So you can sign that surrender form, walk away, and the dog will be walking to the youth room before you get out of the parking lot.
What are some other options? Because there are situations where someone's home life is changed, or they have to, and I mean, I would like to say, I can't imagine, you know, that, but sometimes we have to go through the unimaginable, and situations with people can put them in that place where they just don't have any other option. Right. It's sad, it stinks, we wish it weren't so, but that happens, that's part of life. So what are some options for someone?
At times like that, we don't necessarily work with rehoming animals except for in extreme situations. So I encourage people, like, you know, have a will written up, what you want to happen with your animals if you pass away, because we run into that a lot. Well, so-and-so passed away, and now what are we going to do with their dog? The family don't want it, whatever. You know, if you have to move, find somewhere that's going to let you have your animal. Don't, right. You know, don't just settle for the next thing, because again, the owner surrenders are the first ones to be put down.
And I don't know that they even realize that when they surrender their animal. In a majority of cases, I would hope that they think that they're just going to be able to hang out at the shelter and then be able to find a new home.
Yeah, the humane societies are full, the shelters are full, we're full, everybody's full, and you know, sometimes that's just the only option.
Yeah, that has to be so hard. The compassion fatigue, I'm sure, is something that you battle with on a daily basis.
We do. It's really, really hard. It weighs on us a lot.
Yeah, because you see these situations where you want to help and you have exhausted your resources, and so what next?
Yeah, and like we've been fostering Grayson for 2 months now, and you know, and we already have 6 personal dogs, and until Grayson finds a home, we can't personally help the next one.
Wow, so you need fosters.
We need fosters.
Well, tell us about fosters. I've been a foster, and a lot of people say, oh, I couldn't do it. But as much as I love these animals that I get to foster, you know, it's not very, it's challenging because you love them, but I'm allowing them to have a really nice, comfortable space before they go into their forever home.
Right, and then that frees up room for the next one.
And it
is hard. You know, lots of tears shed.
Yeah.
When we let these dogs go.
Gosh.
But again, when you already have 6 and you're fostering another, we just got back from vacation. I had to put him in boarding because 7 for our pet sitter was just too much.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, fosters are desperately needed.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to meet Grayson here in a moment, but I want to get some of the hard stuff out of the way. We were talking about statistics. So 46% of all dogs and cats that entered into shelters in the surrounding in our area in 2023 were euthanized. Let's let that sink in for a minute. 46%. It just makes me want to cry. So I'm going to try not to get emotional, but this is something that we need to get emotional about, because that's how change can happen. 40% of all dogs and cats that entered in to 3 area shelters were euthanized last year. That's a very large percentage.
It really is. I think it was like, was it 1747 or something?
1747 included 22 that died in care.
Okay, so 1,747 animals that died because no one wanted them or no one stepped up for them. So those are animals that, I mean, they didn't deserve that. And it's not, I mean, I don't know how much we want to get into because this is some heartbreaking stuff. So, but people need to hear this because I think a lot of times we just kind of, oh, well, if I don't know it, if I don't know that it's happening, then, you know, it's not happening, but it is happening. 1,747 animals died last year just because there wasn't anywhere to put them. So when you were thinking about being able to afford spaying and neutering animals, figure out a way. There are ways. There are ways to spay and neuter. There are places out there that can help you. Hopefully we can encourage the cities to get involved, to work with spay and neuters, opening up a spay and neuter place. That would be really great if there was a clinic for spay and neuters. There's places in Birmingham that will come and transport the animal. Cats are really easy because you can do a catch and release. So if you have a cat colony that lives close to your home, then you can reach out and they can come in and they can, you know, get a male, get a female, spay, neuter, and then release those animals because the cats are they can fend for themselves pretty well. They don't mind it, but then it can start preventing those cat colonies to continue. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to let that number sink in again, and we're going to go to a break. And as we do, we want to remind you, 1,747 animals were they died last year because no one wanted them or stepped up, and their facilities are full. So on that, we're going to come back. We are going to talk about some happy stuff today because we do have some cute little 4-legged friends in the house that are looking for their forever home, and it might be yours. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. We've got some stormy days ahead. Today, temperatures are going to get up to 87 degrees, and we'll have a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Then tomorrow, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 89 and a 40% chance of rain. And then finally on Thursday, a high of 84 with an 80% chance of scattered thunderstorms. So everyone, please take precaution, especially when driving. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. Daniel Crane, a tattoo artist from Gulf Shores, has been accused of attempted rape and intimidating a witness. Per 1819 News, Crane was first arrested in August of 2022 by Gulf Shores police. Investigators said officers responded to a fight and sexual assault in progress in the parking lot of Mudbugs Pub and Club around 2:56 a.m. When they arrived on the scene, the officers located an unconscious female. She was taken to the hospital for treatment, and witnesses told police that Crane, who worked at Patch's Tattoo and Piercings in Gulf Shores, was responsible. A witness who worked with Crane at the tattoo shop told 1819 News she received threats from Crane and filed a police report. She stated, "It's been traumatizing to say the least. I mean, the amount of threats that we've received from people that support them has been traumatizing." Multiple tattoo artists moved out of the business with a police escort after threats were made. Crane is barred from having contact with either victim. He pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, which is a Class C felony. Crane was originally sentenced to a 10-year split sentence with 90 days to serve in jail and 3 years of probation. But since he pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, a sexual abuse charge and 2 attempted rape charges will be dismissed. Officers Cornwell and Samples of the Anniston Police Department came across young Jay selling lemonade near the intersection of 18th Street and Cooper Avenue. He is raising money to buy his very own slip and slide for summer. So, if you're in the area, please stop by and show Jace some support. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is 7:45 on your May the 7th, Tuesday morning. We're having fun in the studio because we have some four-legged friends in here that are entertaining us. Just watching him chase his tail is just the best start to my day. So we have to talk about some hard stuff before we talk about some really fun stuff. And one of the things that we left you on is how many animals are being euthanized right here in our county and how we can work together to stop it. And I have joining me right now is Chris Molds. He's the president of Mailman's Mutts. And Chris, Mailman's Mutts has some ideas on how we can all work together as a community to have our voices heard, to say, no, we cannot handle this anymore. This is unacceptable, because there are ways to fix this. So tell us some of the things, including talk to your local politicians. What are some ideas that your team there at Mailman's Mutts has to try to help put a dent in this crisis?
If we would love to have some city and county funding to go towards a spay and neuter assistance program. We actually already have a bank account set up for that. A few people donate directly to it, but takes a lot more than a couple $100s here and there. Because spaying and neutering can get expensive, but
Sure.
it's also doable if people chose to make it a priority.
Well, and it should. And I hear a lot of people speaking out about, oh, there's always a stray, or they're chasing here, or they're doing this. And it's starting to really become very obvious to everyone. And I say starting within the last 4 years, to be very obvious to people that we have this problem. But it's going to take the community. This is a community, all hands on deck. How can we make this happen? Because if we all come together, then we can help this.
Yeah. It's definitely not a shelter problem, it's a community problem.
Yeah. And that's sad, and saying that, because so many times, well, it's not my problem, I'm not working on this. Well, you've contributed to the problem by not spaying or neutering your animal, and then they get out of their fence, and next thing you know, there's 6 puppies that are on Facebook. Does anybody want a cute puppy? And then maybe they take the puppy, but then the puppy ends up back into the rescue once they're not a puppy anymore, and they realize it's a lot of work to take care of a puppy.
Yeah. Taking care of a puppy is a lot of work. Give me the adult dogs every time.
Yeah, all the animals. Animals are a full-time responsibility. They're a great responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes, they should be. So some of the ideas that you've sent me were, of course, send letters to your local politicians. Show up at city council meetings. That's very important. Your city council meetings, that's a place for the community to be heard. Talk about, hey, can we have some mandatory spay and neuter laws in place?
I don't know if that would ever work, because I don't know how they could enforce it. It would be great, but I honestly don't know that much about that part of it.
Yeah.
Katrina could probably elaborate on that a lot more.
Okay, yeah, and we'll get to visit with her. Yeah, because if you had that, then you could have fines. You could have, hey, if you're not getting with the program, then there are consequences to that. Because the consequences right now are all on the animals, not on
That's
the
a
humans.
fact.
And we can't have that. We have to make sure that we are their best advocates, because their voice can't be heard, but yours can. And you do a really great job of that. And I can imagine, again, that it's very exhausting doing so.
It's exhausting.
Because your concentration and energy goes towards taking care of these animals.
My own animals seem to get put on the back burners because trying to take care of all these others.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. So let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about Mr. Scout over there. Let's start with him. He is such a good boy. He's just chilling out. I think we have some pictures of Scout when he was when he first came to you. So let's see that. Do we have Mr. Scout? Let's talk about Scout's story.
Katrina's been fostering him. She knows his story a whole lot better than I do.
Okay, well, so when we come back from break, we can do that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Grayson's the one that's been in my care.
Oh, Grayson's like, is Scout the one that had an ear issue? Did he have something with his ear when he came in? Or is that, there's a few doggies that you have?
That was one of his
Oh, okay.
His ear was in.
Yeah, that was Grayson.
Was it Grayson?
Oh,
Yeah.
Grayson.
It was Grayson.
Okay. All right. Oh, there's Scout. Is that Scout right there? Look at Scout. How did you get Scout? This is Katrina, so we'll have to switch out in a minute because we don't have her on mic. So let's do that after a quick break. Chris, is there anything while you're up here with me right now that you would like to share in particular? Are there any fundraisers coming up? I know we have the ways to donate. Let's go ahead and throw that up so we can tell people what are some of the ways. They're easy. You've got Venmo at Bama Mailman. You've got Cash App. No3boom, and then PayPal at chris.mold71@gmail. Another option that you can do is they work very closely with Central Valley Animal Hospital. So you can make a direct donation there to Central Valley Animal Hospital. You can give them a call at 256-442-2542. Just reference the account Mailman's Mutts, and that would be a huge help because they have a nice little bill running there at Central Valley Animal Hospital, and I know that they work really good to give discounts to Mailman's Mutts, but they can only do so much because they also have to stay in business. So it's very important that they make money. And so that needs your help right there. If you want to help cut down on these bills for Mailman's Mutts, and allow them to continue doing more good work, it is again going to take your assistance on that. So those are great ways right now to donate, to help. If you don't have time to go and physically rescue an animal, you have people who are doing this because they see a need and because we have to have people to step up to do so. So Chris, tell me, is there anything else you want to let us know about?
Not necessarily, just like to encourage everybody, like I said, to do their part.
Yeah.
If you see something, do something. We do what we can, but we can't be there for every single situation,
Yeah.
like we wish we could.
I know, don't we? Well, I appreciate all that you do. I see you every day on Facebook sharing information about animals and encouraging people to spay and neuter and encouraging fosters, and I thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
I know you're going to be here in the studio some more, but we're going to get Katrina up here and we're going to talk about Scout. He is so cute, y'all. You'll have to bring him up here with us. But yeah, so stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine. We'll be right back with Mailman's Mutts.
Good morning, everyone. We've got some stormy days ahead. Today, temperatures are going to get up to 87 degrees, and we'll have a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Then tomorrow, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 89 and a 40% chance of rain. And then finally on Thursday, a high of 84 with an 80% chance of scattered thunderstorms. So everyone, please take precaution, especially when driving. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24
Hughes
weather.
Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
I'm Alan Parnell, Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Arizona Limited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life's challenges. And I found all three at Gaston State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an office administration student at Gaston State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gaston State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gaston State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
I'm Lacey Clines with your TV 24 News Update. Daniel Crane, a tattoo artist from Gulf Shores, has been accused of attempted rape and intimidating a witness. Per 1819 News, Crane was first arrested in August of 2022 by Gulf Shores police. Investigators said officers responded to a fight and sexual assault in progress in the parking lot of Mudbugs Pub and Club around 2:56 a.m. When they arrived on the scene, the officers located an unconscious female. She was taken to the hospital for treatment, and witnesses told police that Crane, who worked at Patch's Tattoo and Piercings in Gulf Shores, was responsible. A witness who worked with Crane at the tattoo shop told 1819 News she received threats from Crane and filed a police report. She stated, "It's been traumatizing to say the least. I mean, the amount of threats that we've received from people that support them has been traumatizing." Multiple tattoo artists moved out of the business with a police escort after threats were made. Crane is barred from having contact with either victim. He pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, which is a Class C felony. Crane was originally sentenced to a 10-year split sentence with 90 days to serve in jail and 3 years of probation. But since he pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, a sexual abuse charge and 2 attempted rape charges will be dismissed. Officers Cornwell and Samples of the Anniston Police Department came across young Jay selling lemonade near the intersection of 18th Street and Cooper Avenue. He is raising money to buy his very own slip and slide for summer. So, if you're in the area, please stop by and show Jace some support. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clines.
Rise and shine, everyone. It is May the 7th. Almost 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:57, and we have a sweet friend. This is Scout, everyone, and Scout is looking for his forever home, and he is such a sweet boy. And I have Katrina Hubbard, Cat, with us here. She's the treasurer there at Mailman's Mutts. Look at Scout. So, Katrina, you are a foster home for Scout right now. Is that okay?
That's correct.
Tell us about his story.
Scout came from Albertville, an area where a lot of dogs are dumped there. He was left at a church from, we know, at least November, and he's been with me 4 weeks. So
4 weeks?
Yeah, he was at this church just living on his own with, there were 2 other male dogs and a mother dog with puppies. My neighbor and friend, Teresa Shue, took the mother and puppies, and she's gotten them homes, and I think she kind of maybe kept 1 or 2. But anyway, she's a rescuer as well. And but he was left there even longer, and I went with her about 4 weeks ago to see Scout, and I brought him home with me. I couldn't leave him there.
No, and that's a hard thing to do.
It is very hard because when you actually go and see them, it's like your heart just breaks, and you can't leave them.
No.
So he has since gotten all of his bedding. He's been neutered. He's heartworm negative, had all of his vaccines, and been wormed, and he's ready for his new home.
He is, and he's such a good boy. He's been sitting up here this whole time that we've been on break, just sitting in between us. And of course, this can be a very nerve-wracking situation, but he's so calm. And of course, he might be a little nervous, but he is a good guy. How old do you think he is?
We think he might be about 3 to 4 years old.
That's a perfect age. So if you're looking for a companion that will love on you and just be your best friend, Scout is in need of that home. So if you can find it in your heart, or if you're looking for a new addition to your home, please consider Scout. And tell us how they can get in touch with you, Katrina, if somebody's interested in rescuing Scout.
They can email me at mailmansmutts, INC, like incorporated, at gmail.com.
Okay.
Or they could contact me at 850-586-3702.
And there's also the Facebook page as well.
Yes, Mailman Smuts Facebook page as well. So you could private message us through there. And just keep in mind, Scout is in a healing phase, and his hair definitely looks better than it did 4 weeks ago. But this baby's going to be beautiful when he completely heals.
And that's what happens. You have to have that little healing phase, like you said. And then it's amazing how quickly they heal, and they're able to come into just looking so good. When I got my little one, my husband was like, "What are you bringing home?" And now I said, "I promise she'll get cute." And she is one of the cutest little things, and that's what happens. He's ready to get down. He's like, "No more, no more." He has been so calm here in the studio. So if you are interested in Scout, and I hope so, I hope he finds a home. I know it's hard to say goodbye, but that just opens you up for the opportunity to help another animal.
That's right.
And so that's what it takes to be a foster, and thank you for all you do. Up there we've got, look at Mr. Scout there. He's such a good boy. So somebody come foster this baby. He needs a home. He needs somewhere good to live. So let's talk a little bit. You sent me lots of information, and I know that you do your due diligence on this, and this is something that you live every day as a volunteer.
Yes.
And it's because you have the passion. What got you started in animal rescue?
Oh, goodness. Actually, I've always rescued animals my whole life. I mean, I've had cats. When I was a teenager, I picked up a cat on the side of the road that had, I'm assuming, been hit by a car, and both of his hips were dislocated. Oh. And so I took him to the vet and got him well and kept him for the rest of his life. And it probably started there, I suppose, but and I have taken in animals over the years, but I probably got real serious about it in my early 40s, and I know I've had probably maybe 700 animals come through me now.
Oh my goodness.
So come through my personal home. So I just try to keep them moving. I do have my own pets, of course.
Yeah.
But
how do they deal with you bringing in all of the new friends to play
love
with?
them. They are just, they're angels. They're like, okay, here's another one, and we'll play with them and make them feel like they're in a home, and then they're okay when they go. They know it's like they know. I don't have no other way to explain it.
They just know. Do you ever get a little nervous about bringing in animals?
I do, yes. You have to be cautious.
Oh, Grayson is ready for his up-close camera. He is a ham. He is full of energy. Let's go ahead and talk about Grayson. Do you know Grayson's story? We're going to zoom in over there. He's hanging out with Chris over here on the side. This is Grayson, everyone. And tell us about Grayson's story.
Grayson was living on a chain, and he was horribly thin. And just, he looks so amazing now. If I didn't know he was the same dog, I wouldn't. I would not recognize him. Here's the pictures of him. So you can see all the scarring on his face, and Grayson is a good example because Scout's not quite to the point where Grayson is now. He is a great example of how beautiful they become when they are loved and they get everything they need. And all the scarring that is on his face, the hairs come back over it. They're so resilient. If humans were as resilient as they are, it'd be amazing. But he's had all his vetting, and he's ready for his new home. And he's a playful boy. He loves to play with balls and chase his tail.
Oh, so. I saw him. He was chasing his tail over here. It is really funny to watch. His coat does look absolutely beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, he's ready. He's like, I am wanting to play. So if you have some kids, is he good with kids? Yeah. Okay.
He's a little jumpy.
A little jumpy.
That can be trained out of him.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, and he's still a puppy, truly. I mean, if he's only about a year old, do you think? Is that
probably 1 to 2? Yeah.
1 to 2 years old? I mean, he's still got a lot of energy. But he's been doing really well. I mean, look at him. He's been hanging in there. And now he's ready to go. He's already neutered.
Yes.
And he's heartworm Negative. Okay, so he's just ready for his forever home.
He
Somebody
is.
who has some energy. If you like to hike, if you like to play, if you like to go to parks, he could be your absolute best friend. He's like, adopt me, somebody. Come on. I know he loves his life there, but and so he's good with other animals though, because he's been in the house with at least 7 other animals. Is he cat friendly?
Probably chase the cat.
Look at him.
He's not gonna hurt it, but he would probably chase it.
He probably chases. So he loves to fetch. So if you're looking for a companion that likes to fetch and likes to hang out, and really if you wear him out, I bet he's a great snuggler. But you gotta wear him out first. So if you need a good hiking partner or somebody to hang out with, Grayson could do that trick. He is such a handsome guy.
He
Yes,
is
he is.
so
I love
handsome.
him. He's so sweet. Now let's talk about some of the other animals that you have in your care. There's one that was found in Walnut Grove.
Now that one we have not taken in yet.
Okay.
That one is one that's just shows the need out there. It's a friend of mine contacted me, and I get here he is.
Katrina.
We need a foster for him. We need someone that can step up and open their home until we can get him to where he needs to be and find him a permanent loving home, or if somebody would be willing to adopt him, you know.
Yeah.
So because we are a small group of people, and it takes an army to do all of this. So
It does. Oh, that precious boy. That just breaks my heart.
and he'll be beautiful
He
once
will
he's
be
all healed
beautiful.
and well.
And he will be so incredibly grateful. Like there is,
They are.
Yes, those rescues, just being able, just feeling love and to be fed. They are so grateful. And we have another story, Sarge. You know, Sarge was left at a playground. Is that at
Yes,
a dog
the dog park in
I
Gadsden.
think we have some pictures of Sarge. He's not in the house with us, but there's Sarge. So he was a couple of weeks ago. Somebody just put him in the fence at the dog park and left.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. So he's approximately 4 years old,
Is that right, 4?
and it's showing that he's a boxer mix. He's super sweet. He stayed overnight at the police department, so he got to hang out, but he got loved on. He's heartworm positive, but that's okay. You can fundraise for those treatments. I fostered a dog that was in heartworm treatments, and you know it wasn't tough. He actually had a really easy time with it.
Right.
You just basically have to stay there, you know, to keep them calm.
Yes.
And you know, I mean that's okay. So if you have a week that you're going to be hanging out at the house and just lounge around with him, then
Yes.
you know, take some time with him. He's great with other dogs and
Yes.
with people. So he just needs a home. He needs a foster. If you're willing to foster him while he's undergoing his heartworm treatments, or ready just to take a chance on a sweet dog to have as your companion and to take on as your own. Because the heartworms, I mean, they're not
It's not a big
contagious.
deal.
If you have other animals in your home, heartworms are not contagious.
Yes.
And there is the treatment, but it's not. It's hard
Right.
on them, but it's not a hard treatment to foster through.
Are you doing slow kill? Okay, and we're doing slow kill on him, which is, it's not hard on him.
Okay.
It does take longer. There is the chance that they could experience a little more damage to their tissue because of it, but you don't have to keep them contained like you do with the injections. The injections are hard on them.
Oh, okay.
And but the slow kill method, basically, he's probably to the point. Has he already gone through his doxy and okay? So really, at this point, all he needs is his monthly prevention and to be retested in a year, which you should be doing anyway
Right.
for your dog.
You
So
should.
the cost would be the same as just owning a dog.
Yeah.
It's just keep them on prevention. The slow kill, the worms slowly die off, and they filter them out of their body naturally. And it's really, to me, I had one doing rescue that did have a reaction to the injections, and it scared me so bad I like to do the slow kill. And I've probably done probably 20 at this point.
Oh, okay.
And another thing is to remind people, I'm here to remind people, please do your heartworm preventions. If you can't afford to do it year-round, please at least do it during mosquito months.
Yes, and we are in mosquito months, so
Yes.
make sure that you're doing that. And you sent us a few other tips. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, again, spay and neuter, because we cannot talk. Oh, we have Buster. Let's not miss out on Buster. Let's make sure that we show his story too before we get to those tips. So let's talk about Buster. Where was Buster found? Oh, he's so sweet. Look at that face.
He is a doll, and the lady that is fostering him absolutely adores him. She takes him for walks in the park out at the little Hoax Bluff Park, and he is living with her right now. It's been there a few months now. He is heartworm positive, but he is also in the phase where it's just the monthly prevention, just like normal, and retest next February. So, but
Look at that face. I just want to kiss him.
I know, he's amazing. But they sponsored his vet bill, and we're hoping to get like an adoption fee, maybe a couple of $100 to help them recoup some of their money. It was a $500 vet bill, so that's what we're trying to do anyway.
Well, he's worth every penny of that.
Yes.
And that would be great. So if you want to donate to Buster, help his foster parents out, and so they can continue to help other ones. We're going to have to take a quick break, but when we get back, we're going to get to those tips. So there's tips on animals. Why should you spay and neuter? We're going to get into that. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Good morning, everyone. We've got some stormy days ahead. Today, temperatures are going to get up to 87 degrees, and we'll have a 30% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Then tomorrow, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 89 and a 40% chance of rain. And then finally on Thursday, a high of 84 with an 80% chance of scattered thunderstorms. So everyone, please take precaution, especially when driving. I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 weather.
All right. A little more about academics. Parents, do you want to secure a bright future for your young people? We have science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Get your kids involved with Academic STEM Kits. Go to www.academics.com to order your STEM kits. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
May not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upper Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
For over 60 years, pain relief products were developed by big pharma and companies that could cause harmful side effects. Now there is something new in a topical pain relief product. Thousands of people who experience pain daily are now enjoying a safe pain relief product. This big discovery is Sweet Relief. Sweet Relief is a 100% all-natural OTC product that allows you to experience with no drugs, no chemicals, no alcohols, no CBDs, just fruit moisturizing with a tropical scent. Thousands have bought and used Sweet Relief with great success. Sweet Relief specializes in relieving minor arthritis, muscle and joint pain in 1 to 2 minutes. That's 1 to 2 minutes, not days or weeks. Order today. Go to www.mysweetrelief.com. That is mysweetrelief.com.
I'm Lacey Clines with your TV 24 News Update. Daniel Crane, a tattoo artist from Gulf Shores, has been accused of attempted rape and intimidating a witness. Per 1819 News, Crane was first arrested in August of 2022 by Gulf Shores police. Investigators said officers responded to a fight and sexual assault in progress in the parking lot of Mudbugs Pub and Club around 2:56 a.m. When they arrived on the scene, the officers located an unconscious female. She was taken to the hospital for treatment, and witnesses told police that Crane, who worked at Patch's Tattoo and Piercings in Gulf Shores, was responsible. A witness who worked with Crane at the tattoo shop told 1819 News that she received threats from Crane and filed a police report. She stated, "It's been traumatizing, to say the least. I mean, the amount of threats that we've received from people that support them has been traumatizing." Multiple tattoo artists moved out of the business with a police escort after threats were made. Crane is barred from having contact with either victim. He pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, which is a Class C felony. Crane was originally sentenced to a 10-year split sentence with 90 days to serve in jail and 3 years of probation. But since he pleaded guilty to intimidating a witness, a sexual abuse charge and 2 attempted rape charges will be dismissed. Officers Cornwell and Samples of the Anniston Police Department came across young Jay selling lemonade near the intersection of 18th Street and Cooper Avenue. He is raising money to buy his very own slip and slide for summer. So, if you're in the area, please stop by and show Jace some support. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Clines.
Rise and shine, everyone. May the 7th, Tuesday, 8/17. We've got Mailman's Mutts in the house. We are talking about the importance of spaying and neutering, the importance of fostering, the importance of donating to our local rescues. Let's start with spay and neutering. Why should you spay and neuter? Of course, we have the obvious reasons, but you provided us with some reasons that we don't often think about. Like, of course, preventing overpopulation and preventing euthanasia rates is very important. So some of these other ones, Katrina, let's go through this list.
Yes. Spaying and neutering, it can contribute to their health as far as some of the cancers that show up in dogs, this particularly, can be avoided altogether by spaying and neutering. Of course, the stress of a mother dog having puppies, it's very hard on them, so you can avoid that. And one thing that people don't realize is they think they cannot afford to spay and neuter, but you cannot afford not to.
Right.
Because those puppies are expensive to take care of, and all the vaccines they have to have. It would be like taking your dog to the vet, you know, how you normally do annually. You have to take puppies about 3 times every few weeks to get their shots, and that's very expensive. So, and the worming. So, behavioral issues, especially male dogs, I've noticed that once you get them neutered, they really calm down and they'll stop marking things, and cats too, particularly. Cats are bad to mark. So, it diminishes that behavior. Your dog is going to stay home more, closer to home if you do let them free roam, which we don't recommend, but but if you do, it will keep your dog at home. And moodiness, aggression, it helps with all of that. Let's see, we went through expenses. Of course, the food expense. for when you have a litter of puppies. At some point, they're going to be eating kibble and, you know, wet food, and that's very expensive. So you want to avoid all of that, and avoid, sometimes you don't know who is getting those animals. So I know some people think, oh, I'm giving it away, it's going to a good home. That's not always true.
Not
So you
always.
have to be so cautious who adopt your animals. Let's see, also,
the health and safety, that's a big one.
Yes, health and safety. That's dogs being on the street, and there have been children being attacked by dogs or adults, but that's something that needs to be avoided. And also the taxpayer dollars of when your animals end up in shelters, it costs the taxpayers money, which is you too, because you're paying tax money when you go shopping. You know, that money is being used to euthanize animals instead of, you know, it could be used for definitely better things.
Sure.
So take care of your animals. Don't let them end up on the streets and in shelters.
Yes, we all have to
Please.
do our part. So spay and neuter and do your part. Now let's also talk about some tips that you've sent us in.
Okay.
So the first one is do not abandon your pet. And we talked about that a little bit. Like if you turn your pet in, or what is it called? If you turn your pet in.
Yes, basically.
Then, you know, Chris mentioned what happens. They're the first on that list to be euthanized,
Yes.
and you don't want that.
If you sign your pet over, they could be euthanized as soon as you walk out the door.
That is just
So,
torturous. Adopt from shelters and rescues.
Yes, please.
Yes, adopt, not shop. Now, you know, there are some really reputable breeders out there. We really hope to challenge the breeders to take a minute, let us catch up. The rescuers cannot catch up with the rate that they're breeding.
Right.
Another thing is volunteer. You need volunteers to go walk a dog, to go clean the shelters, to anything. Even if you have a weekend where you're not doing anything, go check an animal out of the shelter.
Right.
Foster for a weekend. Foster doesn't have to be. Oh, Grayson is saying foster.
Please,
he loves
foster.
his foster. He's over there chasing his tail. He's a happy guy. Again, he's ready for his forever home. But volunteering, that doesn't have to be as big of a commitment. Like if you don't have like a home that you can open up, you can have short-term fosters, again, for a weekend. Like even for an hour, if you have a lunch break and you want to go on a walk, go grab one of these animals and take them on a walk.
Yes.
Just spend a little time, and that will free up the employees there at the shelters or at the rescues to go do some other things, to go clean, to go tend to other animals. Donate supplies. Now, let's talk about that, Kat.
Yes.
How much does it cost to feed all of the animals that are in your rescue?
Well, and the ones I foster, I buy their food for them. And with my 4 and my 2 fosters, it costs about $200 a month to feed them. They're going through probably as much as 3 big bags of dog food a week. So if you can help by donating food, and I try to explain to people, some people think that if they only have $5 or $10 to give, that's not enough. But it makes a difference. Some people have $5, some people have $500. Whatever you can give to help, be willing to give, because not everybody can be in the trenches, but we need your help.
Absolutely. And then another way they can do that is to share on social media.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But be careful on that. Make sure you vet the social media post before you share it, because not everyone is a rescue. Not everyone is on social media sharing information that isn't there are those phishing posts out there.
Yes.
So if you see a post, click on it, make sure it is from someone that's reputable before you share it. Grayson's having fun over here. He's like, adopt me. Microchip your pets.
Yes, absolutely. That's key, because that way if your pet does get away from you, gets lost, maybe by no fault of your own, if it's microchipped, you can take it to a vet or a shelter, and they can scan for the microchip and get your pet back to you. So microchipping is a very good thing to do for your pet.
Yes. And then, of course, please consider fostering a rescued animal.
Yes.
We can't touch on that enough, because there are animals out there that can go to a rescue. Sometimes it takes time for these rescues, like Chris mentioned when he was on earlier, that there are some rescues in like the northern parts, northern states that have a better control over their population, and so sometimes it takes them a little bit to free up space. So in the meantime, if you can foster until there's a rescue that's available to receive that animal.
Yes, it helps so much.
So much. So sometimes we just need a place for them to go, knowing that they're not going to be euthanized.
Right, because we do not have a shelter. We keep the animals in our homes, and we can only keep so many. I'm a full-time, I work full-time in Birmingham, so I can only do as much as I can do.
Yeah.
So we definitely need people that are willing to step up and open their hearts and open their homes. And I was that person when I first started doing rescue. I didn't want to adopt any of them out. And when I did adopt them out, I cried my heart out. And I just kept talking to myself and saying, you have got to toughen up, because if you can't keep adopting them into good homes, you cannot help the next one.
Right.
So a lot of people say, oh, just can't do it. Yes, you can. I did it. And it was hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
But it gets a little easier.
It does get easier, and the joy of knowing that you saved that animal's life. You kept that animal from going into a shelter and maybe not making it out.
Yeah.
That is so rewarding. The reward is seeing that animal go to somebody and that family or person being so excited. I still get pictures from my adopters.
Oh,
I got some yesterday, and it's just amazing. This was a puppy. There was a litter of puppies and like underneath the road, the sewage tunnel where the water flows through, a culvert or whatever you call it. Anyway, these puppies had gotten in there. They were so terrified.
Oh my
and I got pictures yesterday of one of those little terrified puppies that we took hours to get out of that concrete tube. And so it's worth it. Do it, people.
It is. You know, it is hard, of course, to part with one of your fosters. But I think it is much harder to know that their fate is, you know, the alternative to be euthanized.
Yes, it's way harder to walk away or to act like it's not happening.
Right. And it is happening, because that is one of the things that, you know, sometimes we like to out of sight, out of mind, as Chris mentioned earlier. But, you know, it is becoming more apparent now, because when you have a stray that comes up, or if you have a situation and then it becomes, well, what am I going to do with this? Like it is a community problem and a community opportunity. Let's call it that. Let's call it an opportunity. Why don't you say that an opportunity for our community to gather together and say, this is not okay. This is not okay. These animals deserve better. We deserve better. Our streets deserve better, because we don't need stray dogs that are roaming around, because not to the dog's fault, but if they're hungry, or if they've been mistreated, or if they've been out in the wild, and things happen.
Right.
You know,
they're fending for their lives.
They're fending for their lives, and the animal instincts kick in. But you know what else? The other animal instinct that kicks in is when they are loved.
Yes.
And when they are fed. The joy and the love that they give back to us is invaluable.
Yes. And to watch that decompression happen.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Amazing. Like with Scout, it seemed like some of them are really fast to decompress. It might take them a day or two, like with Scout, and some of them take a little longer. It just depends. They're like people. They have different feelings, and you know, they reason things differently and deal with situations differently. So
yes,
sometimes they need time.
They do. And thank you so much for all that you do for the animals. Thank you to Chris, Mailman's Mutts. We appreciate you for being here this morning. I know it's been some tough things to talk about, but it's also been a lot of fun, because we got to meet Grayson and Scout. And so if you're interested in donating, fostering, adopting, then we would love to hear from you. I'm going to put up one more time how to get in touch with Mailman's Mutts on their donation pages. And again, remind you to follow them on Facebook, Mailman's Mutts there on Facebook. But donate today. Let's get them some donations going on. So that's what we're going to leave you with today. Thank you for tuning in to Rise and Shine. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. It is Oven Odyssey Wednesday, so we'll see what Chef Dave is cooking up for us tomorrow. And then, of course, Thursday we've got Gadsden State, and Friday we have Alabama Cares. So make sure to tune in every weekday morning. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to make those donations. Reach out. Thanks for tuning in to Rise and Shine right here on TV 24.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.